Good morning everyone, this is Louise from Eleanor Grace with another little video for you. I'm just doing a little preview first of all of a video that will be coming shortly to show how to make these. Now I won't go into too much detail about what they are because I'm just wait for the video to be released, but that will be coming out shortly. What I wanted to show you today is a new stitch to me. Which is, I've seen it many times, but I hadn't tried it before. This stitch here in the centre, which is called a spider web stitch, which is not really surprising because it does look rather like a spider web. And this is a fairly simple stitch, not dissimilar in the way you sort of do it to the woven wheel. Unlike the woven wheel, you can have odd numbers, but you could have even numbers as well. With the woven wheel, which I'm sure you've probably seen the video, if not, do have a look at this. You need an odd number of spokes in order to make it work. But with the spider web stitch, you can have as many as you want. I just happen to have done 5 here because I quite like the way it looks, but you could do 6 or 4 or as many as you like, but it is a fairly simple stitch and a really enjoyable one, so I'm just going to show you how to do that. I have made one here in preparation in my very old moth-ridden, not moth-ridden really, but this is my practice pack. If you haven't seen my videos before, I do recommend making one of these. Just a bit of felt, sort of fairly thick felt if you can, not too thick, but you know, with a bit of weight to it, with a bit of calico and just stitched around the edge. It makes a wonderful thing to practice with, you know, to try out stitches. And as you can see here, I have also done this in a variegated thread. I generally tend to work in cotton perle 8, which this is, or cotton perle 12, although 12 with this stitch would be very fine. This stitch would also lend itself very well to a thicker sort of yarn, but in this case I've done here, I've just used cotton perle 8, which is my preferred and the one that we're going to be doing with today. So we're going to start off down here, get a nice bit of space down here. Now what you want to do is make your spokes first of all. So I've got some cotton perle 8 here and I'm just going to make, again probably I'll just make 5 spokes. With this, it is important, however many spokes you make, to evenly space them out as much as you can. Otherwise, it might end up looking a little bit odd. So it may be easier to do an even number because that's a little bit easier to measure by eye. Or you could just draw a circle and already sort of mark out where they need to go. But I've done enough woven wheels over the last year or so to sort of get a rough idea just by sight at where I need to be. You want to make, as I say, a number of spokes. Mine always looks like a starfish at the start. And bear in mind, please, I am left-handed, so right-handers, you probably want to reverse this in terms of the direction. Okay, so I've made my 5 spokes. And then if you're left-handed, you tend to come up to the left side of the spoke you want to start working on. If you're right-handed, you probably come up on the right-hand side. So this may look a little bit backwards, but I'm going to be heading this way, so clockwise. If you're right-handed, I've seen people do both ways, but if you're wanting to go anti-clockwise, which I think is more normal for right-handers, then you want to be to the right of the stitch, because what you're going to be doing is basically coming back on yourself. Unlike the woven wheel where you go in and out in a regular fashion, this is rather, I like to think of it as 1 step back, 2 steps forward. So if I show you what I mean, I've come up to the left of the spoke I'm going to work. What you want to do is go in as close to the centre again, not actually in the centre, just to the right of that. Oh, sorry, you don't want to go all the way through, getting overexcited. what you want to do, I'm going to turn this around to show you. What you want to do is wrap round the back of that stitch and go forward 2. So this is where I'm saying 1 stitch back, 2 forward. I'll show you a few more just to make it obvious. Now I like to neaten these up as I go because they can become a bit ragged. So if I show you this one here, if I take that bit of thread to the side, then you're coming back on yourself. You don't go into the fabric, you come back on yourself and go forward 2. And again, just sort of neatening as I go. So coming back on myself over this stitch, forward 2, and then pull it tight. Not extremely tight, just give it a bit of tension. Then come back on yourself 1 stitch and forward 2. So if you imagine, it's a bit like the old adage, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That is sort of what you're doing. You're coming back 1 and forward 2. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, hopefully without hitting the camera, so you can see a bit closely. So again, I'm just neatening up the stitches as I go round. It's a little bit too close actually. And so here I'm going back 1 stitch and forward 2, and then just neatening as I go. So I'm going back 1 stitch and forward 2, and you just do that all the way round, and it gets to the point where you get to see a bit more of the pattern emerge, and it starts to look a bit more like a spider's web. But it does take a little bit of time, this one. It's not as quick as the woven wheel. The woven wheel, I find, goes through very quickly, but this does take a little bit more time. So I'm going back 1, forward 2, and as I say, you're not going through into the fabric, you're going just underneath the stitches, and then you're wrapping, and that's where you need to give a little bit of tension when you're wrapping that stitch. So this is starting to come together. I'm going to bring this up a little bit, and you will be able to see if I go a little bit faster now. It's one of those things where you feel like you probably want to either move your stance or move your bit of fabric as you work, because that does get you going a bit quicker. So I'm going to try it here and see if I can get a little bit quicker. So it's 1 back, 2 forward, all the way round, and as you start to see it winding out, you can see that it starts to get that sort of spider web look, and you just keep going. So it is a bit of a more lengthy one, but it's really nice as a special stitch. I don't think it's something you would cover something in, but I mean, it would be great for a Halloween theme. You could do a little spider's web, but also I think it's actually quite pretty as a stitch. I mean, I must admit, I'm no great fan of spiders, but I do love, cobwebs, especially in the autumn when you go down the garden and they're all, got a bit of dew and a bit of frost on them. They're beautiful, beautiful things, and this is a very good sort of, almost version of that, I suppose. It looks as close to that as you can get. No wonder it was called the spider web stitch. So I'm aware I'm sort of turning this round a lot, but it is easier to work in that way, especially if you are left-handed like me, where you always seem to be doing things a bit backwards. But I'm getting quite close to the end now. Now, unlike the woven wheel, I don't particularly mind if the ends of the spokes sort of sticks out a little bit. With the woven wheel, I like them to be covered, but with this, you you can almost imagine it's part of the web itself, you know, that a spider has made. So we're getting close to the end now. Now bring it in a little bit so you can see the outcome. Yeah, let's have a little closer look. So you can see it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. But again, like all things, I suppose, all things slow stitch, we should not be looking for perfection. The idea is to enjoy. If you want to learn the woven wheel and quite a few other stitches, I have virtual workshops that are coming out, which are as near as I can get to one of my in-person workshops. The beginners one has come out already, so if you would like to learn a whole heap of stitches, most of which are showing on this pad here, then the beginners is already out. This is a private video, so it is unlisted on YouTube. You won't find it on YouTube because it is a workshop. It is something that I'm charging, but I'm keeping the prices low, you know, with the cost of living for everyone. So it's only £10 for you to have that video forever. And I am doing an intermediate one, which is nearly finished. That includes the woven wheel, amongst others. But most of these stitches here are covered on the beginners. If you're interested, then you can leave a comment on here. I think I'm going to probably finish there. I might do, yeah, I think I'm probably quite happy with that. I'll probably maybe do one more. Just want to wrap this one, and I think we'll be there. There we go. Okay, so then when you finish, you just push your needle in a little bit so it doesn't show, and bring that through. Flip it over and tie it off in whichever way you prefer. I just like a knot, and that's it. And I will then show you the finished spider's web stitch. So it does look really nice. It's very tactile. It's quite raised, and it can look really good in, so say, a you know, in a pearl cotton, like cotton pearly like this. But you can also do it in a variegated. So I've got the example here. I've done a variegated one here, which looks really good, and it's a little bit of fun. But I hope you've enjoyed that. I will be coming out shortly with a little video about these, just a little short sort of fun project. These don't take very long to make, and I will tell you more about them soon. Bye.